Part 1, My Report on the McCarrick Report by Patrick Parson. Started November 15th, 2020. The McCarrick Report. What is it? It is a 2-year study on the career of disgraced former Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, who had been laicized in February 2019 for credible allegations of sexual abuse of minors. I am joining the army of commentators who wish to put their 2 cents worth on the released report. This program is done by myself as a private individual and is not in any way connected with any affiliations I may have, except that of a concerned Catholic layman. I am speaking only for myself. It is a subjective analysis with personal observations and reactions. I originally considered attempting a more dispassionate and totally objective review, but found I would rather express my thoughts on what was presented or not presented by the original report. Now, what is my reason for this program? Why is it even necessary? After all, many well-known people have already discussed the McCarrick Report, so hasn't everything to be said already been said? What more could be added? In fact, isn't more public discussion creating further scandal? The scandal already exists. The fact that such a report ever needed to be made in the first place is a sign of serious flaws in the inner workings of our church hierarchy. The fact that someone like Theodore McCarrick reached such prominence and influence in the church is indicative of a foul, diseased sector inside our holy church that must not be merely cleansed, but eradicated before our church can successfully focus on its mission of spreading the news of Christ and his salvation. But I have not been satisfied with the report summaries that I have seen and heard. Some give what appears to be an accurate but all too brief analysis of what is contained within the report. Other summaries, and far too many of them, seem to gloss over possible inconsistencies and allow for a shallow and possibly erroneous understanding of what happened without in-depth examination. Basically, I find it hard to accept that what I have heard is the whole story. I did debate with myself whether or not to publicize my thoughts on the McCarrick Report, particularly before a potentially large non-Catholic audience. But my desire is not to wave institutional dirty laundry for all to see, but rather to try clarifying what happened and what didn't happen. Our God is the God of truth, and ultimately, truth is best for everyone, whether we consider it shameful or not. There will be several parts of my report on the McCarrick Report, quite a few, in fact. There is much to examine and discuss. This program will stretch out for a long period of time, particularly since I expect to be doing only 2 or 3 parts per week. I limit my daily presentations to 1 typed page for several reasons. 1, it gives a consistency to the length of each segment of the program. 2. I don't want the viewer to be overwhelmed or more likely bored by my presentations. 3. It helps me with organizing the segments of this program. 4. It is easier for me to do a short presentation than a long one. And 5. I have limited time in studying the McCarrick Report and producing this program. So my goal from here is to post a video semi-regularly for however long it takes to discuss the full McCarrick Report. Since the report itself is 449 pages, this could turn into quite a lengthy series. Are you ready? Join me for the next part, and let's start looking at the McCarrick Report. In the meantime, it might be good for all of us to say the Fatima Prayer, as Our Lady taught Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta in Fatima on July 13th, 1917. O my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell, and lead all souls to heaven, especially those in most need of thy mercy.